channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. Today I have a makeup video. I feel like I haven't done one of these in a little while, and it's basically a sort of continuation to my baking and long-lasting makeup techniques video. And if you haven't seen that one, I will link it on the screen now somewhere here, and I will also link it in the info box below. But before we get started, please don't forget to subscribe if you're new to my channel. I upload videos twice a week, so don't forget to tune into those and hit that subscribe button so that you get a notification every time I upload. And I will also leave my social media links on the screen somewhere right now so you can follow me. And without further ado, let's jump straight in. So like I said earlier, this video is all about contouring and highlighting and perfecting your base makeup. I find that if you have good skin, it makes everything else look so much better. But if your skin isn't flawless and you kind of have a very sallow looking skin, or you can see imperfection, or you can see a lot of darkness underneath your eyes, it just kind of makes everything else look a bit meh. It just doesn't kind of stand out, because if you've got beautiful eyeshadow but your under eye darkness is really dark, then it's really just not going to kind of pop, and nobody's going to focus on that. And on the contrary, you're actually going to look more tired and more kind of drained, so it's really not going to kind of give you that effect that you're looking for. I'm going to go through how to perfect your under eye and cover any darkness, pigmentation, bags, and just kind of leave that looking absolutely flawless. I'm also going to go through how I highlight and contour with cream and with powder contours, and just generally all the techniques I use to get a perfect base. So without more chatty, I don't want this video to be super rambly, I'm going to jump straight in. And I've already applied my foundation for this next step, and I've only got matte foundation, moisturizer, and a little bit of under eye cream. Okay, so the next step would be to color correct. As you can see, I've got a lot of darkness underneath my eyes, and I do have a little bit of pigmentation kind of here on my mouth and on my chin. So I'm going to use a color corrector to kind of tone that down, and it'll help later on with the concealer. I'm using this one by Tarte, and I quite like it. And basically for color corrector, I know there's been so many videos right now with people going absolutely crazy. I just use a salmon kind of color corrector to apply in any areas where I've got kind of extra darkness, because this just kind of helps to counteract that kind of bluey, grey kind of pigmentation shade that I have underneath my eyes and around my chin area. But yeah, there are lots of different ones. You've got like green ones for redness and yellow ones to brighten, but I just kind of use this one. And as you can see, I'm applying a very thin layer with a brush, and you can use more liquidy ones. YSL one came out with like a really nice one which comes out in the same packaging as the Touche Éclat, and that one seems really nice. I've not actually tried it myself, but it seems like a really kind of easy option because it's just like a pen, so you don't even need like a brush or anything. But this one's quite good. It's a little bit thicker, so it applies a little bit more coverage, but if you keep it kind of thin, it's okay. It doesn't make your makeup look too cakey. So I'm just applying a little bit around my mouth area where I've got a bit of pigmentation as well. And it's important to keep the layers kind of quite thin again, because that's just going to help it last longer, but also it's going to help your makeup not look too cakey, because you don't want to end up looking like you've got kind of tons and tons of makeup on your face. Okay, so now that I've applied a very thin layer of color corrector, I'm going to go straight in with concealer, and I'm using the Clé de Peau concealer. So this is apparently Kim Kardashian's concealer, and I absolutely love it. It's super pricey, but I have spoken about it in other videos, and it's just like a miracle. There's nothing that blends like this. It's moisturizing, but it's not oily. It has super high coverage, but it doesn't look cakey. It's honestly a dream. So if you want to splurge out on one concealer, I would really recommend this one. I use the color Ochre, I think. Yeah, it's Ochre, and oh my god, it's amazing. And it does last for a long time, but it is still really pricey. So I'm going to take a little bit with my brush, and I'm just going to apply this underneath my eyes, just because I feel that there I need so much coverage, because my darkness is really dark, and I also have this area kind of a little sunk in, so it creates a natural shadow. So it is quite hard for me to cover it up. So I'm just going in with a brush and just applying it in a kind of inverse triangle, but just where I have a lot of darkness, so kind of immediately underneath my eye. And then I'm going to apply it a little bit down the sides of my nose, which is going to help me kind of thin it out when I go in with contouring. I'm also going to go kind of up into like the corner of my eye because that area tends to get quite dark for me as well, and this just helps to kind of lighten it a little bit. My god, I'm actually boiling in this room. It is so hot. It's been such a nice summer in London this year. I can't believe we've actually had a real summer in England, but it's so hot, and because there's no air conditioning in the houses, it is boiling with the lights on, the windows closed. I'm actually suffering in here. I'm also going to use this concealer to kind of pinpoint conceal any kind of blemishes or marks that I have on my face. I'm actually breaking out quite a lot right now. I don't know if it's hormonal or what it is, but my skin is really not looking that great. Okay, so now that we've concealed, I'm just going to dab this concealer in with my finger, just because this helps to kind of warm up the product and mesh it in with the skin. Okay, so now I'm going to go in with the NARS concealer. I know this is like the third concealer I use by now, but trust me, this is the part of my beauty regime that takes the longest, but if you spend the most amount of time on your kind of skin, that's going to make everything else look amazing. Because if you've got great eye makeup, but you've got really dark under eye circles, it's really not going to stand out, and it's just going to make you look more tired and more drowned. So I think it is definitely worth spending the most amount of time in making your skin look good, because that's what's going to kind of give you that nice, healthy glow and a good kind of makeup look. So I'm going to go in with the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer, which you've seen me use about 1,000 times because I love it. I actually discovered this through Amelia Liana. I'll link her channel below, she's really good. And yeah, oh my god, ever since I tried it, it has been like a lifesaver. I really, really love it. So I'm just going to take the wand and I'm just going to apply this the Kim Kardashian way. And I'm just going to apply it down the side of my nose, and then underneath my eyes in an inverse triangle. So kind of going from the corner of my eye to the corner of my nose and up at an angle to the side. And I do apply a lot, but this blends in really well. It is a little thick, but it does blend in really nicely. I'm also going to use this to highlight. So I'm applying a little bit on the bridge of my nose, the center of my chin, center of my forehead, and basically anywhere where you want to highlight. I'm also going to use this to kind of brighten the corners of my mouth, which I color corrected earlier. Okay, as you can see, I actually look like a ghost right now, but it's all going to be okay. So I'm just blending it in with fingers again. So now I'm going to go in with my beauty blender again and just finish blending this out. And again, this is just going to remove any excess and give you a super flawless look. And I like to just close my eyes and just apply what's remaining of the sponge on the top of my eyes, because I just feel that that helps lighten my lids, which can be a little bit kind of pigmented and dark sometimes. I'm now going to go in with cream contour because, like I said, I love layering, and I'm using the LA Girl Pro concealer. It's actually a concealer, but you get this in so many different shades and it's so affordable. I think it's like £2 or £3. You can get it on Amazon. I'll link it in the info box below, like all the other products. But it's honestly so amazing. I love the consistency, it doesn't break me out, and it's so easy to apply because it's got like a little brush, so it's super easy to create the lines. So I'm just going to contour on my cheeks. A little bit on my jawline. A little bit down the sides of my nose. That's it. And like you see, it's so easy to create the lines because this has already got a brush. And I really like this colour. I'm using Toast because it just bronzes my skin up a little bit as well, so it warms it up and it doesn't look as pasty after applying so much concealer. And I'm going to go in with a brush and just blend this out a little bit. I'm blending this upwards to kind of lift my cheekbones. And I know it looks really crazy right now, but trust me, when you blend it in, it just looks absolutely flawless. And then I'm going to go and blend out a little bit on the sides of my nose. And I'm going to go in with the beauty blender and just finish blending it all out. As you can see, I'm just kind of bouncing the beauty blender again off and then just blending it down my neck to kind of create a shadow underneath here, which is going to hide any kind of double chin, but it's also just going to help with kind of not be a line which looks absolutely dreadful. I remember my high school days when I would just put like foundation till here and I literally had like a white neck and a orange face, so have a good look, guys. So now that everything is super blended out, I'm going to start off with the most exciting part of this video, which is baking. So I'm going to take a little bit of the powder on the lid, and then I'm just going to dab in my damp beauty blender, and I'm going to take the smallest kind of pointy side. I'm just going to dab that in the powder, and then I'm just going to apply kind of a thickish layer of this everywhere where I applied highlighter. I think I've had on the baking for enough. If you find that your skin is even more oily, you can leave it on for as long as you want. There's some people who leave it on as long as 20 minutes. But I just find that if I leave it on for too long, it does look a little bit too cakey for my taste. So I'm going to brush it off, and all you do is just take up a clean brush and just brush off the excess powder. We've applied all the primers and our skin is looking absolutely flawless. I'm going to go ahead and finish my eyes, my brows, add some lipstick, and we'll come back for the final touches of bronzer and contouring, which will just kind of finish the layering, and it'll end up looking with a perfect looking makeup that'll last you all day. Okay, so I've now done my eyes, I've put some mascara, my brows, and my lipstick. And I'm just going to finish off with the kind of powder part of the makeup. So, like I said, if you want your contour and highlight to last longer, the best way is to layer it. So I've done my cream contour, I then powdered it, and now I'm going to go in with a powder bronzer and contour. I'm using the Anastasia Beverly Hills palette. I use Fawn to contour, and I think it's called Havana, the one I use to bronze. And I'm first going to go in with the bronze color, which is this one. And I'm just going to take it a little bit on this brush, and I'm just going to apply it to kind of my cheek area, and anywhere else where I want to kind of warm up. So I'm applying it on my cheeks and a little bit to my forehead, bridge on my nose, and a little bit to my chin. I'm then going to go in with the contour shade, which is Fawn, and I'm just going to apply this where I applied the cream contour earlier. And this is just going to help set in the contour and make it last a lot longer. So that's it, guys. Those were all my tips. I hope this video was useful, and please do let me know in the comments below what other things you'd like to see from me. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, give this video a thumbs up, and I will see you in my